Hi guys, it's Monday and I wanted to come on and talk to you today about inner hygiene and what that even is. And a lot of you, if not all of you, might be familiar with toothbrushing and showering and all of the other daily hygiene things that we can do for ourselves and our exterior. We do hygiene in our homes, we vacuum, we keep it all clean, we tidy up once in a while. We have kids that bring things back in a mess, and then maybe we'll teach them how to do hygiene. We teach them how to shower. But what about inner hygiene? What about that place that we operate from, our brains, our emotions, our hearts? How can we have hygiene with that, and how can we keep that real clean? So I wanted to talk to you guys today about that and see if you're doing any of it, because I have gone through phases in my life for sure when I've done like some parts of it, or I've gone through places, times in my life where I thought that, going to retreat or meditation retreat or a weekend away, that's the only time, or therapy, there's definitely times and places where inner hygiene has happened. But how can we make this be a lifestyle and a part of ourselves? So first of all, I want to see like if we are all in agreement with what happens when we're not doing inner hygiene and what that even means. So when our insides are cluttered, when our insides are messy, we operate from our subconscious, we are reactive, we snap at people, we are impatient, we're grumpy, we have anxiety. Like there's so many operating systems from our subconscious that we can go from, where we're just being messy. Our inside messy then transfers to our outside messy. We can't be the parent that we want. We can't show up at work like we want. We're a crappy partner to our spouse or boyfriend, partner, girlfriend, whatever, because our insides are really unorganized and chaotic, and they're really then transferring onto our outside lives and just really showing up in everyday life. So if you are experiencing a lot of triggers every day, if you're experiencing chaos in your relationships, if you're experiencing a lot of arguments, discomfort, anxiety, depression, you can be pretty sure that you haven't been doing your inner hygiene. And no judgment here. I just speak from my own past and sometimes present, but this work makes you more aware of when it's happening too, and then you can work with it. But there were so many times in my life too, especially before I found emotional acceptance, which is the tool that I now use with my clients to get through this. And I use it for myself, and I have my own coach who helps me with it. But definitely before I found that, I operated out of those 95% of my subconscious patterning pretty much all the time, and got triggered all the time. The world had to change around me, and I'm pretty strong and I can be bossy. So, when I thought that the world around me has to change, then that's what had to happen, and just to keep me out of discomfort, just so that I wouldn't have to go in there and do my inner hygiene. So just know I'm not judging here. I know where this all comes from. And so, and then I found this tool, thankfully, thanks to a good friend who I'm also now business partners with, thankfully, just because we aligned so much on this. And she brought this emotional acceptance into my life. And since then, I've had much more of an awareness and an understanding of how to use that inner chaos and how it's showing up on the outside of our lives to really go in there and teach my clients inner hygiene. What does it even mean? How can we use those triggers and those chaotic situations, those feelings of anxiety and being desperate and just really feeling disempowered and, whatever shows up on a daily level where we're like really feeling inside, we're feeling that crappiness, like this shouldn't be how we should operate every day. And it's not that not feeling okay is not okay. We can't be feeling amazing all the time, as you know, even though our goal is to get there more and more. And I'm feeling good so much of the time now, and it's just such an empowering place to be. It's just so wonderful to be in that strong power. But when my negative emotions now, or my triggers, they show up, I don't try to make them go away. I do emotional acceptance on them, and I transmute them. I listen to them. I treat them like a visitor in my home. Even though I try to be respectful, offer them a cup of tea. No, but really, not ignoring and trying to make them go away is just really the key here. Like all of us, not all of us, but I want to speak for the large percentage of society. Like we've been taught to make negative emotions go away, or to ignore them, or to not have them. But what are we going to do? Because they are a trigger from our subconscious. By then ignoring them or trying to make them go away, we have to blend out a giant part of our being and just say it's not there. We may have been carrying, or we may be carrying patterns from childhood. We may be carrying triggers, trauma, and so what? We're just supposed to not have it be there. It's like just ignore that it's there, medicate it, go scroll on Facebook until I feel better. That doesn't happen, right? We know Facebook doesn't make us feel better, just if anything, the opposite. But yeah, so emotional acceptance just really helps you or me or anybody to dive in there, be able to dive into your being, and instead of ignoring it or medicating it, and asking that part of you that is giving you that symptom, that thought, that feeling, to communicate with you. And in this way, then we can transmute it by going through the heart. It's a very powerful coaching technique, and it's the best one that I've ever come across. And people who know me, they know that I try everything. I just, I need to know for myself if what I'm bringing to my clients works, and that's why I try everything myself. And I've transmuted a lot of stuff in the past with other tools. Some are faster, some are slower, some are more aggressive, some are more not for everyone. But this here is really, it's just naturally built into our bodies. We don't need anything else but us and our subconscious, and to learn how to work with it and do our inner hygiene. And it's best to do it regularly. A lot of us have a lot to catch up on, and new stuff shows up daily. We're just getting triggered newly and challenged on a daily basis. So unless we learn how to do our inner hygiene, our outside world will keep looking like chaos too. So I want to encourage you to write in the chat, what is your biggest challenge with inner hygiene? What do you do on a daily basis, or even occasionally? How have you done inner hygiene before? And also pop in the comments if you feel like you need inner hygiene, if your inner life and your outer life are all showing up chaotic. That's all an indicator. Are you getting triggered a lot? Are you fighting a lot? All these things. And now I got a fraud risk call and I had to make it go away. That's life. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like or love this video if it's helpful to you, and pop in the comments. What are your biggest challenges? How do you do your inner hygiene? And do you feel like you're in need of it? Do you have chaos in your life? Do you have triggers? Do you have strong emotions? Do you have PTSD from the past maybe? And yeah, that's what I wanted to bring to you today, the inner hygiene practice. And I'll see you soon. Be well. Bye.